to like forget all the other things in life because your brain can only fill up so much information, you know?
Kanye shrugged, the entree is covered in all butter. It's only common sense to show you I still love her. Miss America keep creeping under the cover. The only Donald we acknowledge is Glover.
All right. Hey guys, Tanner here, and I've never really introduced my Porsche 911 Safari build. So I figured let's take the opportunity and do that. We've gone on like several road trips with it at this point. We're in Oregon, maybe 1,000 or so miles away from home. And yeah, it's been crazy car, awesome build. It's not complete finished yet. It's no car's ever finished, but I think it's in a good stage where I'm comfortable to say it's like phase one of the build. So let's take a look real quick and check it out. So obviously we got rid of some of the lip typically that's here on like a turbo body. You'll see that rubber lip a lot on these wider body 911s or stock 911s from this era. It is a 1976, but it's got a 1982 3.0 liter engine in it. The body kit, it was installed at some point in the 80s, 90s. I don't know when, but it was installed by a Porsche dealership. We have photos of it. It's pretty cool. It's a steel body, so it's galvanized steel, doesn't rust as easy. Still will rust, but luckily the paint has pretty much held up here. So I do drive it, as you can see. Drive a hell out of it. So it's been a great driver car. Bringing us to the suspension as far as like how comfortable it is to drive. It's on a torsion bar suspension still, like it is factory. It's just everything's been lengthened. We did a reverse RSR suspension, which is basically you take the spindles and drop them all the way down instead of raising them. So you get like, you know, again, RSR you're lowering. Reverse RSR is basically raising this up. So it's kind of like what they would call as like, I think it's the FIA regulations section K for like rally spec safari type suspension for like East African Safari that Tut Hill puts on. That's kind of like what we did with it, with a little bit of tweaks from Elephant Racing. I won't get too much into like how that's all done because that's just too long for this video, but just know it's a pretty stockish suspension. Very comfortable on the road, very comfortable even out here. I would say springs would probably be a little bit better for something like this, but still does the job pretty dang well, and it's a great driver's car. So bringing it to the to this side, our first like kind of modification as well. I had PMB kind of custom make this this piece right here because the tire was rubbing. Again, if you have that lip, the rubber lip would have come probably about right here or so. Just to give us more clearance, we're running Toyo Open Country AT3 tires, and that gives us just barely enough clearance for the wheel to, you know, to get enough movement in that. And we can all the way turn to the left, but we're going to be rubbing on some components inside. Same thing with the right, we'll still be rubbing on some of the edges. We're going to plan on buffing those out. Yeah, so that way we have full clearance on here, and maybe I'll go with a little bit of a slimmer tire. This is what I would have wished I would have done, is to do a smaller tire actually. This tire is a 283. I'll have the specs up on screen of what this tire is, I forget. But I did get a little bit too big of a tire and wheel combo, but it is what it is. It still runs, it's fine. Yeah, going to the door, we got stickers, partners on this build. We have the front runner roof rack that we use 944 brackets for, and then drilled an extra hole so that way they can clamp on to this rack. And then I put some rubber gaskets on the inside so it doesn't really ruin the paint. Over on the back here, we actually have a sticker from the rally, from OC Rally, so shout out to OC. And then Braid Wheels, I don't think I mentioned, these are like the Dakar Metropolis tees, I think, or the Dakar tees, I can't remember. Again, on screen, in the description, I'll have everything listed out for you guys. But yeah, towards the back, we've got the whale tail, which is like kind of your iconic 930 look. I didn't do any of the body on this. This was all done before I got it, but definitely having the wider stance does keep it more planted on the road, which is way awesome. And then moving around, we got a shovel to get us out of sticky situations. I've got Max Tracks in the front. And then, you know, some Redline interior bits and door cards. And yeah, that's kind of the Safari special to a 930 homage car, I'll call it, but just a wide body 911 from 1976, G body, of course. And it's been a great car. I mean, I really have loved the hell out of it. I've driven it like a few thousand miles and driven it off and on road. And we'll drive it out in Safari Party here soon. So hopefully you guys will see much more of this car. You've already seen kind of the interior of some of our road trips, but I expect to do a lot more with it in the coming future, and just super excited to kind of introduce it on this road trip out here in Oregon, the beautiful, I think we're in somewhere outside of Bend in Detroit, but it's a gorgeous spot. I love it. We're gonna get some footage of us mobbing around, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.
All the things that I see, and maybe that's the reason that I wear 20-year-old shoes for my youth, cause it's the way they define me. Gotta go and get your own, buddy. Go and get your money. Stop back and watch it. Them blank games getting old to me. Head high, get to your profit like money ain't it.